Welcome to another episode of the Go Intelligent Sports Podcast Show. I'm coming to you right after the Lysol toilet wine cleaning bowl. This was about the most boring, inept, stupid game I've watched played by two teams in a long time. But before we get into the nuances of the game, thank everybody for giving me over 1,000 subscribers. Let's continue to grow the channel. My next goal is 1,100 subscribers. So like this video. And if this is your first time checking me out, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you know when I post these videos. Let's get into the game. Man, Derek Carr. I got to, look, let's start with the elephant in the room because I can't get beyond, I can't start to this and go into something else. Who in the hell did Derek Carr think he was? Who did Clint Kubiak think he had at quarterback today? You just got an interception. First down, you come out, you give the ball to Jamal Williams. For what? Give it to Kamara. Second down, you come out and you got Kamara back in the game. You get your head on straight with that. But then you call quarterback bootleg with Derek Carr on 2nd and 10. And this fool runs, picks up 9 yards, and wants to dive over the top of someone trying to get the first down. Comes down on his arm, head, and just tears his ass. What in the hell did he think he was going to do? Derek, Timu, we do not need you to put your cape on and save the day. We don't need you to do that. What did you think you were going? Who did you think you are? Who? What? I need answers. Because it doesn't make any sense. You, for a meaningless yard, because it was going to be 3rd and 1. You had 2 options, bro. 3 options, really. You had 3 options. You could slide, inbounds, keep the clock running. You can just go out of bounds. Also, or you can tuck your head in and fight for the damn first down. You don't need to jump over anybody because you're not that athletic. Nobody's ever looked at Derek Carr and mistaken him for Jalen Hurts or Randall Cunningham or anybody like that, or Taysom Hill. Nobody's ever mistaken him for that. Nobody's ever really called quarterback design runs for Derek Carr. So I have no idea what the hell Clint was thinking. Just give it to Kamara. Give it to your best player on offense. I understand today Kamara had 17 carries and only like 40 some odd yards. That doesn't mean anything to me. In that particular game situation, we're just trying to get the timeouts out of the Giants' pocket. Since you came out there and ran them dumbass plays, obviously you weren't trying to score. Get the timeouts out of their pocket. Derek Carr, just whatever you want him to do, he's going to do it the worst goddamn way possible. He's just going to do all the bad. Like he doesn't do anything good. He's mid as fuck. Now, you may say, well, you're tripping. Derek Carr is our best quarterback. He is, which is why I'm so pissed off, because he has to know he's our best option. So why in the hell would you do something that will make the risk of injury higher? Derek Carr is a coach assassin. I guarantee you, Clint Kubiak will not be the offensive coordinator next season. I guarantee you he will not. And that means we will have a new offensive coordinator, new offensive philosophy, and once again, you're at the bottom. Derek Carr gets another coach fired. We're in his 10th season. Like he is what he is. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying I'm happy he's injured, because I'm not. You never want these players to get injured. But damn it, you don't want the players to be the reason why they get injured either. You don't. Moving right along, because Derek Carr every week he has me talking about him, and sometimes I just don't be wanting to, because he is a mid quarterback. And the Saints can't do nothing with him, because if you cut him before June 1st, he counts $50 million against your cap. If you cut him after June 1st, he counts $30 million after your cap. It's just, we're stuck with him. We're stuck with him for at least one more year. Darren Rizzi. Now, Darren, I message with you. I likes you. I think you're a good coach. But I got to be honest with you. I got to be honest with you. What you did to Matthew Hayball on national television is not a sign of a good coach. You don't see Mike Tomlin, who's never had a losing season, by the way, in Pittsburgh. Never. You don't see him undressing players like that in public. Now, I get it. He may not have done what you want him to do, but you got to do that behind closed doors. These are professional players with children and wives, and you cannot do that on national television. There's cameras everywhere. You can don't get me wrong. You can give him an earful. You can, as he's walking past you. You can mention something to him. You can look at him a certain way. But you can't take your hat, throw it on the ground, throw your headset, get in his face, and yell all kind of obscenities, because we know you wasn't praying for him at that moment. And shout out to Alvin Kamara for coming in and getting in between that, because the optics on it, they ain't good. They're not. And that's the easiest way to piss these professionals off, is to do that. I ain't saying don't coach them hard. I ain't saying don't coach. I ain't saying don't get on them. But you can't do it like that. Fly to New Orleans, bring them into your office, and talk to them and call them everything but a child of God there. But not on national television. But let's get on you a little bit, Darren. Now it's my turn to get on you. Let's get on you. You're from New Jersey area. I learned that this week. You're from New Jersey area. I'm sure you've been to the Meadowlands before, passed it on a highway or whatever, because they say you went to high school 11 miles from the stadium. You don't know about kicking in the Meadowlands? Why do you have Blake Grupe kicking 60-yard and 53-yard field goals in the Meadowlands? 60-yarder, I get it. You want to try something before halftime, get some points, maybe you get a penalty. Who knows what happens, right? Ended up being blocked. Why did it end up being blocked? Because the trajectory on the kick has to be low. It's easy to block, easy to bat down. The 53-yard field goal, the wind takes the ball and sends it to the nacho stand. It's the Meadowlands. There's a reason why the Giants went for it on their first possession, because they were in that kind of fringe yardage where they couldn't punt it because they'd just go out the back of the end zone, and they couldn't really kick a field goal because it's too far and the wind is just taking the balls. I'm sure you've seen it in warm-ups, but you got to be better than that. You got to be smarter than that. You got to be smarter than that to put him in that position. It could have been a disaster. Could have been a disaster. Bresee. Brian Bresee is turning into a great New Orleans Saints. Saints are looking like they got that one right. That first round draft pick with Brian Bresee last year, you got it right. Brian Bresee is going to be a star in this league. You got that one right. You got it right. The man is in the backfield all the time, causing pressure. He leads the team in sacks. He's batting the ball down from Drew Lock all day today. And to top it off, put the cherry on top, he jumps over the lineman without using any leverage and comes down on his feet, also maintaining his hands up in the air and blocks the kick. Brian Bresee absolutely dragged the Saints to victory today, kicking and screaming. They didn't want it. He wanted it more, though. And I have to acknowledge that. Brian Bresee is looking like the man on that defensive line. He is. He's looking like the man on that defensive line. You got the Washington Commanders coming up next. What do? Saints ain't winning that game. I can guarantee you not. Derek Carr ain't playing. Derek Carr ain't playing. If his arm isn't fractured, he's still going to be held out for at least a week with concussion protocol, because they say they were looking at his form with that. He came down on his face. So being in a concussion protocol is not far-fetched. And the NFL ain't taking no chances with these head injuries. They ain't taking no chances with it. But I really believe he has a fractured left arm. I think he probably broke his wrist. Hairline fracture or something, because the way he's holding that arm when he walked off the field lets me know. And I have broken my arm before, so I know what a broken arm looks like and how you hold it. You don't want nobody to touch you. You hold it close to your body, because any slight movement or anything, it is an extreme pain. Extreme. Breaking a bone hurts very much. But can the Saints win? They can. They got to play a game. Anything can happen. Will they win? I said that already. They won't. They're not beating the Commanders. Unless we have a miracle. Unless, Jaden Daniels forgets his way to the Superdome. The Washington bus, drives to Tag Gormley instead of the Superdome. And then, they're forced to forfeit or something like that. It's the only way the Saints really win that game. That ain't happening, though. Ain't happening. Man, bro. This game here, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, man, what do you do? What do you do? So we're going to play probably Jake or Spencer. It's more than likely it's going to be Jake here next year. We just have to pull the plug on this season and clean it from top to bottom. See what we have in Jake. See what we have in these other players. And just scrub the damn team. There's only a certain amount of players I want to even come back. I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody else can go. Everybody else can go. Brian Bresee can stay. Alvin Kamara can stay. Kool-Aid McKinstry, he can stay. He's a rookie. Talise Fuagwa can stay. Who else? Rashid Shaheed can stay. Demario Davis. Let's keep Chris Olave if he can still play. I'm sure he can, but keep Chris Olave. I believe I said Alvin Kamara already. Marcus Valdez-Scantling. I've seen enough from him. Let's hopefully entice him to come back. Anybody else I'm going through my head? No. If you're not as athletic as Brian Bresee, you can go. Look, bro, I don't get it, man. The Saints need to just get rid of everybody. There's a whole lot of stupidity running through the organization, and it seems to be contagious, and it ain't getting no better. So we need to take the Lysol that we won today for winning this toilet bowl game and clean the facility and get rid of all of the bad energy, spirits, and players and start from the bottom and build our way up. It's going to be tough for a while. It's going to be tough. We're going to probably lose next season. But I'm looking at the forest and not the trees. I'm trying to go long term, not short term. This team is not 1 or 2 players away. Do not kick the can down the road, Mickey. This team is at least 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players away. We have to get rid of all of the trash. Put them out, call Sidney Torres and tell him that you got a dumpster full of people that need to go and you need to bring the truck. Get rid of all of them. Maybe even you. Maybe yourself. Do us a favor. Fall on your sword. Say, I stepped down. I ain't doing a great job. Gail, I can't do it. It's too much for me. Do something. Or step back. Gail, I'm just going to run the salary cap, which you ain't doing well at that either. Can you tell I'm sick of this team? I've had enough, man. I've had enough. Pull the plug on the season. Pull it. Pull the plug, man. Lord have mercy. Anyway, this has been another episode of the Goon Intelligence Sports Podcast Show. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to share with me today. And I appreciate you for that. Until next time, peace.